Hello and welcome to Let's Talk LFC. I'm Maria and joining me tonight are the usual suspects, Fozzie from LFC Red Forever, and we've got LAZER LFC. You can say hi, guys.
Hello.
Don't need to be so silent. And we've got some very special guests joining us tonight. We have got Andy, who is our resident Leeds fan at the moment. Hi, Andy.
Nice to meet you all. How are you?
We won't talk about the loss just yet. And we've got THIAGO'S father. Hello.
How you doing, guys? I'm
welcome.
THIAGO'S from the Red Sea podcast.
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us.
Appreciate you for joining us today.
Yeah, good to be here.
Fabulous. And tonight we've also got, a bit later on in the second half of the show, we've got LAERT from RossonARI TV, who's an AC Milan representative. Well, not representative, but he'll be repping for AC Milan on our show. So we've got Pat's show tonight with loads to cover. We had an eventful weekend. We had the game between Leeds and Liverpool, of course, at Elland Road. And we're going to be looking forward to our Champions League clash on Wednesday against AC Milan. So here are the topics coming up with what we're going to be talking about. I love that. That's really good. Just had to say. Now, before I carry on, don't forget, and I've always wanted to say this, don't forget to smash that like button, share and subscribe to the channel. Let's get the word out there and get people watching, listening and taking part. And don't forget to put your comments in. We will be reading some of those out a little bit later. And also check out all of our social media channels and our YouTubes. And you'll see at the bottom of the screen there, everyone's tags and handles are alongside there. So let's get to business. We're going to start off with our Premier League top four performance talk. So we're going to start off with, let's go with Man United. It's the one everyone was talking about. Let's go over to Lazer. Let's start with you. Actually, Lazer, we're not going to start with you because I know that
Go on.
Heavy weekend.
I could just say a little piece and then we can hand the reins to everyone else.
Right. Let's go with Lazer and then we'll move on.
So Manchester United 4, Newcastle United 1. As expected, Steve Bruce was going to bend over for Manchester United because that's what Steve Bruce does. But you know what? Cristiano Ronaldo, even though Man United are Liverpool's rivals, you can't help but smile. Because it's amazing. You know, you're going to think of the ages, where he's been prior to that. He's come back and straight away he's hit it up. His second goal was something like a blast from the past, But I didn't watch the game in full. I only seen it in clips due to work commitment. But for Man United, for me, looking at some of the highlights, they still lack that defensive nous, man. They're still a bit light in the midfield area. I'm not so sure, man. And I think they're going to be relying on Ronaldo a lot. Their star players like Fernandes, Pogba. Pogba's been excellent, by the way. The amount of assists he's had already to bail them out. And sooner or later, it's going to bite them on the ass. But yeah, it's a very well-deserved victory for Manchester United.
Did you expect anything less?
No, I said that on the show before. Even they watched the show on the Friday night, Fuzzy knows about me already. I say what I say, and I knew, no matter who Steve Bruce is managing, he could be managing Hull, he could be managing Steve Bruce FC does favours for his ex-club, Manchester United. That is what he does.
THIAGO'S father, what did you make of Man U?
I mean, look, let's all be clear. They've signed one of, if not still, the greatest player in world football. I got pals that were telling me, he's not going to score. He's not going to listen. He's bagging two today. He's bagging two. I knew from the get-go that he was going to bag 2 goals. And he's just kind of reintroduced himself to say that little, hello, I'm still here. I expect Manchester United to be a problem, but I'm not being funny. You don't go and spend the amount of money they've spent in the window and not be a problem. They need to produce. Ultimately, all the pressure is on Manchester United. All the pressure's on Chelsea. All the pressure's on Manchester City. Even Arsenal, to a degree, all the pressure's on them as well because they've made big acquisitions. You don't spend 100 million plus in a transfer window and not have expectations. While little old us ain't spent nothing.
Little old us.
Little old us ain't spent
It's
nothing.
a move, isn't it? It's a clever move because whatever we do, we just say, well, we didn't buy anyone.
Yeah, no, I'm comfortable because a lot of Liverpool fans and guys, for those in the comments, if you don't know, please check out my Twitter and my own personal channel as well. But you'll see I've been so comfortable with the whole entire window. Like, no stress. I'm not pressed. I'm not sitting here thinking that the whole world's coming to an end. Don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, I feel like we could have made some investments in the transfer market, but the pressure's on these boys. The pressure's on these boys. And if you look at the stats so far, we've still created the most chance in the league. By far. By far. So you can sign Cristiano Ronaldo all you want. You got to listen. I don't know if I can swear, but you guys have got to do something.
Do you know what, Thiago's father? I am 100% behind you. I've said exactly the same, and it's so good to hear someone saying the same. I was like, I'm at peace with the lack of signings. I'm not bothered by it. We can do it with what we've got. And actually, it's the others that are under a lot more pressure. Man U with Ronaldo, they're expected to win everything now. They got no excuses. So they're under a lot of pressure, more so than we are. More so. The only people putting pressure on us is ourselves. So, you know. Yeah,
totally. And the fan base has been a little bit. Yeah, the fan base has been a little bit rattled somewhat over the last probably 6 to 8 weeks. The transfer window's dragged a little bit. We had that big signing, Ibrahim Konate.
Yeah, we've forgotten about that, some people.
What an addition. That's a mega addition. I'm sorry. And when I look at it, we were linked with Ben White, 50 M's. So if you think 2 months before we made the Konate signing, we were sniffing all around Ben White. English player tax, 50 M's. Arsenal have taken the bait. They've made the signing. And he's looked like a championship defender. Yeah. We've gone and brought a Rolls Royce. That's all. We've gone and bought a Rolls Royce. Yeah.
We're just polishing it up and getting it ready to roll it out.
36 M's. What a signing. So yeah, hopefully we see him on against AC Milan. But yeah, we've had the last laugh.
Brilliant. Andy, let's go over to you. What are you thinking in terms of Man U's performance against Newcastle on Saturday?
Well, I didn't really get to watch the game, but I saw the highlights, and it was just, as Lazer was saying, like Steve Bruce bending over for United, as per usual. You know, when Man United want something, Steve Bruce is always on offer. Do you know what I mean? And it's just, as I was saying a couple of days ago, Ronaldo still got it at 36, and he's proven it even in the first game. He scored the goals. The fans were electric. You know, that they are under serious pressure now to win the league. I do feel like if Man United don't win the league, then Solskjaer's got to go.
Yeah,
100% on that, man.
Definitely.
He has to, but United are lucky to have all the players that they've got. They've got strength in depth now, which they haven't had for a number of years. So I do expect to see Man United in the title race, 100%, and especially after that performance. Newcastle were just poor. Yeah. But you sort of expect that from Newcastle now. You know, it's not they're not the same Newcastle like from the days when they had Shearer going for the title or that sort of thing.
It's a whole different game for them now.
Yeah, exactly. They're a mid-table club now, at best. You know, and they need to be putting in performances, and the way they were playing against United doesn't look like they've got much performance in them.
I think they were a bit intimidated as well. So much hype had been created around Ronaldo. I don't think anyone could have gone into that match without having some form of intimidation or thinking, I don't know, it's King Ronaldo is here. We need to step back and let him kind of get on with it. So I think that was quite harsh on them. It'd be interesting to see Man U against some of the other bigger teams and see how they fare and how the other teams react to them as well. Fozzie,
yes.
What were your thoughts?
Man United, yes, it's the first game. All the hype is around them at the moment. They are doing pretty well. Obviously, they scored 4 goals to 1. But the thing is with Man United, that I want to see is if they could last, the marathon. You could do a lot of stuff in the beginning. We've seen that with Tottenham. We've seen that with other teams in the past. I want to see if they could last, the season with these kind of performances. Yes, Ronaldo is great. I agree. He's a great player. He's still a great player, but like I said before, that's not what they needed. They needed, the midfield, solid midfield, all the way to the back. That's what they needed the most, and the goalkeeper as well. Am I afraid of them now? I'm not. I think like Thiago's father said, our team, the first 11, I think, in my opinion, is the best 11 in the Premier League by far. If we all click and we're all fit, there's no one can touch us. In not just in the Premier League, in the world of football as well. But it's just down to us how we're gonna perform during the season. What upsets me the most, obviously, you guys talked about the transfers. The transfer sense of our side. If we could have got a solid striker, I would have been happy with that, and we could have competed even more for the league. It's worrying and it's not worrying at the same time if everybody's fit. You know what I mean? That's how I see our challenge with Man United. But listen, they are a great team. They've got strength in depth. They got the bench. They got obviously the starting lineup. They haven't got the manager, but we'll have to see if they could last, till the end of the season. That's how I see it.
Let's see how they go. It'll be an interesting season.
Before we go to the next topic.
Yes, no worries, bro.
You want me to read them out?
Yeah, go on, go for it.
No, I'll do it.
Yeah, big up to Daz TV. Big up to everybody. Like and subscribe. Quality content as always. Big up to you, Daz TV. Big up to Frankie Ramon. Cool. And big up to Mr. Seajoy, our regular guest, Mr. John Conway. Good evening to everybody. And big up to Amina B. Evening, everybody on the panel and the live chat. You never walk alone. Big up to Az is in the chat as well. I'm just going to fly through some of these. Yep, United lucky to have Ronaldo. Any surprises he scored? Yes, Thiago's father loved the confidence. We don't need big names to compete, to be fair. No more injuries though. 100% to Andy. And the pressure is on Manchester United.
It really is.
100%.
It really is.
One more question from Aziz. What do you guys think? Stronger team, Manchester City or Manchester United?
Ooh, that's an interesting one, Do you know what? I think this season I'm going to say United. Actually,
Really?
I think they edge it. Maybe. Yeah. I think they edge it.
Yeah.
But,
Nah.
yeah, I don't know. What do you reckon, Fozzie? What do you reckon?
Would United being contenders or what is it?
Who's stronger, United or City?
Listen, Man United are strong, but City have the consistency, and they've been here before. That's the difference between Man United and them. It's in order for you to win titles, you have to have the experience, and Man City, hands down, have got the best squad. Even if you think, because what you see on the pitch now ain't strong enough, but when the players come back like De Bruyne, and players like that come back into the team, it's going to be even more powerful than we first thought. In my opinion,
Fuzzy, do you think the lack of having a natural number 9 is going to affect them for the season though? There's a lot of talk surrounding that. Do you actually think some people think they may go back into the market for Kane in January? There may be a little twist. But for me, I'm not sure Jesus is going to cut it for the entire season. We know I think Man United will outscore City, but as we know, it's the points on board that count. You can have the better goal difference, but it's the points. And for me, the difference between the both sides is the manager. For me, Solskjaer lacks the tactical nous to drag Man United over the line. Pep Guardiola's been there and done that. So that is the difference between the two. However, I do believe Man United will give it a good run this season. I really do. There's no bones about that. We can't kid ourselves. We can't kid ourselves, man. I just think I think this season's going to be tight. I don't think there's going to be a standout team that runs away. If you look at the table already, we know it's early doors. It's 4 games in. But it's just got that feel about the season. It reminds me of is 13/14. When we had 4 teams, remember? Well, Liverpool fans don't remember because something happened to our main player that season, and it haunts us to this day. It still haunts me. But that season was tight. Arsenal was in the mix right up into the end. As you know, the table kept swapping. Chelsea should have won that title. And honestly, Liverpool should have won it, and then City came from nowhere and won it. So I have a feeling it'll be upper 80s. But for me, if there's going to be a team that will pull away, let's say after Christmas, I don't believe Man United have the minerals to get the 90 points. I just don't. I don't see them reaching 90 points. Liverpool have done it before. You know, we've done it twice before. Manchester City's done it a few times. So, you know, it's going to be a very interesting season, man.
You never know. What do you reckon, Thiago's father?
I just think with City, they've got that craft, they've got that guile, they've got a bit of everything. In every single box, there's a tick for Manchester City. In every single box, they got goals, tick. They got a DM, tick. They got a creative midfielder, tick. They got a defender, tick. They got a goalkeeper, tick. In every single box, there is a big fat tick, no question marks. Yeah. Last year, Aguero was out injured for pretty much all of the season. Got Gundogan popping up scoring goals for fun. And Gundogan hasn't scored as many goals like that even in his dreams. So he was scoring goals for fun. So with Pep Guardiola, he's got the keys to every single door. You can never ever write off Manchester City. They then think, do you know what? We need to adjust the way we play. We're missing that David Silva little effect. So they go and spend 100 M's on Grealish. Closest thing in the Premier League, you're going to get to David Silva. And guys, please, do not think I'm comparing Grealish and David Silva, because David Silva's a god.
Your cards.
In the current game at the moment, Grealish gives them a little bit of what he did. That little bit of tiki-taka, able to get in and around the box and penetrate. They didn't have a penetrative player. What that does is it frees up the likes of Raheem Sterling to run in behind, and devastating running in behind. Raheem Sterling scores goals. Yeah. What's his name? Ferran Torres scores goals.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily need a striker. And again, it's just like Pep just finding another way to address a problem. He's a very creative manager. He almost reinvents the game. And that's why you have to give Pep Guardiola his flowers, because every country he's ever managed in, the philosophy and ethos of football has changed. You look at when he went to Germany. Now that's the most stats-driven league in the whole entire world. The Pep effect. We now look at the football that's being played here in the Premier League. More playing out from the back. You look at managers like Arteta that are persisting with playing out from the back, even though they don't have the players to do it. That's Pep Guardiola all over. So you have to give him respect. The difference with City, like you alluded to, at Manchester United, is the manager. You can have a weak link in your team, but your manager has to have the tactical nous to change it, the adaptability to change it. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, two cup finals, found wanting. Europa League Cup final, didn't change it, found wanting. That's the big moments, you know. And do not get me wrong, he might mature, he might turn into something, because Jurgen Klopp, again, they're not on the same level. Same thing with Jurgen Klopp. We went to the Europa League final, found wanting. Went to the cup final, found wanting. It took a while for it to click. So,
but sorry, Thiago, saying that when you said Klopp was found wanting in the Europa League final, for me it was down to personnel. I don't think we had the right personnel at the time. When you look at some of the players Man United have at their disposal, they should be doing better, and they should have won that Europa League final.
Oh, I totally agree with you. But when you come up against Unai Emery, a specialist in Europa League, finals, what did he win? 3 with Seville?
300 trot. 3 beats.
And one of them was us. One of them was us. So I don't necessarily think it was personnel. I just think that on that occasion, Klopp was outwitted by a specialist in that competition. You then see him go to Arsenal, doesn't get the respect to Arsenal. He then goes Villarreal with arguably a worse squad, takes them to the final and lifts the trophy. certain guys in teams and managers only put trophies out on rent. Unai Emery put the Europa League out on rent, and he comes back and gets it whenever he wants.
Going off topic, Thiago, going off topic. Do you feel Emery was disrespected at Arsenal?
Majorly.
By the fan base?
Everybody. Unai Emery is a top draw manager. Very, very tactical. He knows how to affect games. He knows how to change games. You look at Villarreal. They're defensively sound now. With on what budget? You think you could give him, if you gave him 150 M's at Arsenal now? Arsenal will be in a far better position than where they are at the moment. It's just they didn't give him time for the fan base. But you now look at Arteta. because he's an ex-player, he's getting the time. Same way as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he's an ex-player, they're giving him time. Some teams are ruthless. Chelsea were ruthless with Lampard.
Yeah.
But Chelsea have been able to hire and fire to their way to success. They're never going to change the model. Whereas other teams are a little bit more patient with their ex-pros. And that's what you're seeing at Arsenal.
Yeah. Well said, bro. Well said, man.
bro.
So, I mean, obviously we've kind of talked about City. Let's just very quickly, just if anyone wants to jump in on the Leicester City game, seeing as we're talking about City, what did we make of that? They obviously won 1-0. What are your thoughts, Andy?
Shows what a good side they are. Man City know how to beat the top side, and at this present moment, you would class Leicester as one of the top sides of the league, constant top 6. You know, I would say Leicester are a top 6 club now, and Man City beat them. You know, it shows what a great manager Guardiola is. However, going back to the Guardiola thing, he's only managed teams that have been top of the league. Imagine Guardiola like an Arsenal or a Leicester.
Yeah.
It'd still be sensational.
Could Guardiola still do it?
Yeah.
That's what you got to think.
Still win the league with like a team like Arsenal or let's say Southampton.
I wouldn't say he'd win the league. That's different. It's a different proposition. If you look at Manchester City and their players, they're expected to win the league. Yeah. Arsenal would be expected, and their expectations have been for a long time, Champions League football.
Yeah.
Yeah. With that squad and his know-how, he could probably get them European football. Arteta's been nowhere close.
Yeah. You could get a better tune out of the team. Much better tune,
and the respect that Pep Guardiola has, you got Pep Guardiola as a player, you got Pep Guardiola sitting in front of you, a man that's won it all as a player and won it all as a manager, and come out of La Masia as well, the Barcelona academy. When he speaks, you listen. Yeah. Whereas with Arteta, I just don't feel that the players have that same level of respect for him.
Yeah, you're right.
You see what I'm saying? They don't have that level. Like, there's not that fear factor.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't done anything prior to that. You know, as people say, he's been the Cone boy. You know, he's been his number 2. You know, and I think it is a psychological aspect of the game. You know, when you look at managers that have had experience, look at Ferguson. Players looked up to him; they were scared. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Big players like that, big, you know, characters. Like, you know, Zidane in Real Madrid, for example. Guys like Arteta hasn't done nothing. He hasn't proven anything at all. You know, and for me, it was way too soon for him to take in an Arsenal job. Way too soon. You know, he should have cut his teeth elsewhere in the lower leagues, even like a Crystal Palace or something like that. But, you know, Arsenal, you know, as usual.
Leave Crystal Palace alone.
No, I don't. Sorry, Miriam. You know, but you know where I'm going with it. A team more lower to the bottom of the table. You know, not one of the big 6 teams. You know,
I disagree slightly. Though. I disagree slightly. Only on the basis that as a manager, if a big team comes calling for you, you're not gonna have the gumption to turn that down. Lampard the same. How could he turn down Chelsea?
Yes, I see what you're saying, Thiago, but he already cut his teeth at Derby. And I know what you're saying. When it comes calling, you've got to show the Billy Bollocks and do it. But for me,
think sometimes you've got to think to yourself, especially like with Lampard, am I going to completely ruin my legacy if I know deep down I'm not ready for this? So you could say, right, I'm not going to do it now. Once the next one leaves, I'm coming in. It's the same with Gerrard. I don't think he's ready to be coming over.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Chance. I'm going to say it straight. I do not want that man anywhere near our football club.
I agree completely.
I don't want him here.
Yeah.
Because the millennial, do you know what it is? It's not us as fans. It's the millennial fan base.
Yeah.
Yes.
The millennial fan base do not know what that man means to someone like me.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Exactly.
What it means to
Well
someone
said,
like
bro.
me. Yeah. He made it okay to be a Liverpool fan. Do you know what I mean?
In the darkest times. In the darkest times. In the darkest times of the club.
TVG.
He made it okay. Like, I remember being a kid and going to school and getting teased, for being a Liverpool fan. And then the next day, Gerrard would just slap up Man United, and I'd walk in school and be like, what now?
Walking out the box.
What now? So it's one of them ones where I just don't want the millennial fans to potentially ruin his legacy, because millennial fans don't know, innit? And for me,
Thiago's father, do you think? Sorry to interrupt, mate.
No, go on.
What I'm trying to get at here with Gerrard, do you think if he takes over in 2024, he's gonna struggle with an aging team? Because what I see, because I'm an older fan, as you know, I told you before, I could see a Graham Souness happening again, if you know what I mean. Like, he's got an aging team, and then he's gonna have to rebuild, and then, like you said, the millennials are gonna have a go at him because we haven't got instant success like 3 or 4 years down the line, and then it's gonna go all pear-shaped, turn on the manager as they did with Graham Souness. People forget Graham Souness is a Champions League winner on a regular basis with Liverpool Football Club. He's a legend. If you put the first starting 11 of Liverpool, Graham Souness is going to be in it. I mean, so 100%. That's what you got to look at. That's what worries me the most about Gerrard. When people ask me about Gerrard being the next manager, I said, no. Let's buy that time.
What was funny? When we were on that bad period last season, there was fans actually saying that.
Saying about Klopp out.
Klopp out.
Are you mad? Like, when did you start supporting Liverpool? Did you really ask them that?
Even as a neutral, like I'm a Leeds fan. Yeah. Even as a Leeds fan, I still couldn't believe that they were saying Klopp out. If we didn't have Bielsa at Leeds, I'd take Klopp in an instant.
Exactly.
Klopp for Liverpool is the best choice of manager at this exact moment. He fits your philosophy. Yes. He plays the football you want to play. He's won the title. Exactly. Klopp should be given as much time as he wants to be given at Liverpool.
Yeah,
exactly. You know what I mean?
Never even crossed my mind. Never even Never. We could have finished 15th, and I would have still.
I would have still loved the guy.
This is just it, and you make a good point as well, like, about the Souness factor. I mean, like I'm not. I know a little bit about the Souness era, but that's very early for me. Yeah. I'm 32. That's very early for me as a Liverpool fan, and my early memories of being a Liverpool fan. But one thing I'll say where Souness went a little bit wrong with his tenure at Liverpool, he tried to change the culture in the club.
That's what I said.
And he tried to change the culture too quick. If you remember, there was a huge drinking culture in
football. He got rid of the boot room as well.
Yeah, it was huge. He tried to change the culture, and I think he tried to do it too soon. Other managers have tried to change cultures. You look at Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger is instrumental in changing the culture of English football with some of his methods.
Yes.
They did it. They did it a season before Manchester United did it.
Yes.
Yeah, Manchester United then changed the culture. The guy that changed it for us was Gerard Houllier.
Yes, Houllier,
changed everything. You ain't going out drinking.
Not many people like his football philosophy, though. Because it's too defensive.
Gerard Houllier was a tactician of the highest order. The difference is that he was sometimes slow to react in games, and by the time he'd reacted, the game was away from us. Benitez was him on steroids. Benitez was him on steroids. Total control, master tactician. Changed games in an instant, flipped games on their heads. That was Benitez for you. But just in response to the Gerrard thing, before obviously we jog it on slightly, you're right. You don't want him to inherit an aging squad. But I don't think that Liverpool will leave the club, or I don't think the ownership will leave the club in that position. I think by the time it comes for Gerrard to come in, you'll start to see the new wave of players coming already. I feel like we're already setting up for Liverpool 2.0. Harvey Elliott, and Curtis Jones, Trent, Ibrahima Konate. You're forgetting Joe Gomez is only 23, 24.
And they've also got loads of the young players, the 15, 16-year-olds. We're forgetting how many they've signed people, they've brought people in, they're bringing them up. So they're preparing. They're preparing.
Yeah, it's there. And those guys are going to have...
Get some comments.
Should we get some comments? Let's grab some comments.
Let's get some critical comments up. So... There was Andrew Stevens. Big up to you, Andrew Stevens. A matter of single points at the end of the season, in my opinion, it will be probably going down to the last game in relation to the title race. We got to Aziz once again. We're going to skip True these. Big up to Ravi. Thanks for joining us. Up the Liverpool, decent win for us. I think we can beat City. They are decent, but not unbeatable. That's going to be a tough game on the 3rd of October. I'm looking forward to that one already. Yeah. Massive game. Right, okay, so Andrew Stevens again. I have one request, please. Can we not talk about? You're bad, you know. Bit of a difference coaching Derby and Chelsea. I agree with that. And the millennials, yep. Typical millennials these days. We got Terry in the B live and direct in the place. Can I just say, as a millennial, I agree. Don't want Gerrard to take on an aging team and ruin his legacy as a player. And big up to a Manchester United fan in the place, GGMUTV.
Yes. Great kids, by the way. Please subscribe to them.
Don't come with that talking there, bro.
Forget about it. But they're kids. They are kids. So, yeah, please go subscribe to them. They're great kids. They're great kids.
Yeah, great kids.
And big up to Alpha. Boy, only person who could replace Klopp is Pep Linders, an Eagles fan. Big up to yourself and big up to Abdul and big up to everybody live and direct. One more comment. Big up to the Cup Fusion. Arsenal fans were cocky about new manager and owners. Look at them now. This is what happens when fans think they know better. We should learn from Arsenal and Barca and be patient. Yes, so big up to everybody live and direct in the chat, of course.
Always. Right, so just the last game quickly. We'll whiz through this one. So Chelsea Villa, 3-0 win. Again, let's just have someone jump in with this one so that we don't necessarily need to go around every single person.
Andy,
go on. Do you want to go first, Fozzie?
I'll go, but obviously Lukaku scored twice, and obviously Matteo Kovacic scored as well. With Chelsea, everybody's saying they are the favourites for the title. I'm more on the side of Liverpool and Man City still. I'm not going to get away from that. Yes, Chelsea are doing well with Lukaku coming back to them and he's scoring a lot of goals. But with time, like I said about Man United, them two have to push their way towards the City and Liverpool level for us to, to consider them as the title contenders. Yes, they bought a lot of good players, but if the manager... What the manager has to do is gel them as well. So, yes, in the beginning of the season, they're doing pretty well. But let's see what happens during the season if they're going to be consistent with their actual, performances. That's what I'm saying. Yes, they've done well at Anfield, but they were too defensive. They didn't actually come out of their goal line, if you know what I mean, people. Yeah. I want to see more from Chelsea, when they go away to City, Man United and places like that, and see if they can convince us they are title contenders.
Do you think Chelsea could shithouse their way to a title? It's been done in the past and it can be done again.
Listen, it can be done, but it just depends on the other team's strengths as well. Like if like I said, if Liverpool have their first 11 on a regular basis, I think we could blow. Listen, I've always come back to that. I based myself on last season's performance from the beginning of the season all the way to January. As soon as we got to the new year, we dropped off because we was playing Fabinho and Henderson at the back. Even with a weak squad, we actually competed to the new year, if you know what I mean, guys. Yeah. That's what I based my season on. We only tailed away because we had we didn't have centre backs. We was bare to the bones, and then we started trusting Reece Williams and Phillips at the end of the season, the last 10 games. You know what I mean? So I'm only basing it on that. Now we've got that. Look at the way Matip is playing. Look at the way Van Dijk is playing. Look at Matip. It's like a new player. It's like a new player now, man. I mean, he's outstanding. You know what I mean? And then you got Trent doing his bits now. He's obviously everybody talks about his defensive side. That's irrelevant because at the moment we've got the two best centre backs in my opinion in the Premier League. We're keeping clean sheets and we only conceded one goal all season. So we just have to keep going and then try get the points. As I said, first 10 games we just got to win 6 or 7, and then that will decide where we're going to go during the season.
Andy, what do you reckon? What you making of Chelsea and Chelsea v Villa in particular, the game?
I think Chelsea have had a strong start to the season. Lukaku could probably be the signing of the season based on how he's playing at the moment. Yes, we're about when you got Ronaldo and all that, but Lukaku's doing just as good as him, if not better. Do you know what I mean? And they tore Villa apart, a good Villa side apart, really. If Chelsea get the wins against the sides that they need to beat and against the top sides, like when they played against Liverpool, yes, they were defensive and that, but they had a game plan and they stuck to the game plan and they got a result, and that's what That's what total winners do. They get results against the teams that you need to beat.
Yeah.
You know, Chelsea do that. Look how they won the Champions League last season. They beat teams that even though you could write on paper that they were better than them, but they won. They had a game plan. They followed the game plan, and it's successful.
Yeah.
I do see Chelsea being up there in the total picture. To be fair,
I mean,
you know,
Yeah.
look how strong they were last season.
Yeah.
When Tuchel come in.
Just in the comments, guys, I've just spotted one in the comments, and I'm sorry, I have to draw this person out.
Go on, bro.
Go on.
GGMU TV.
which comment is it?
Listen, Varane and then Matty.
Oh, this business. Yeah.
Listen, let's be clear. Let's be very, very, very clear. Yeah, Rafa Varane is an outstanding centre back.
Yeah, you can't deny that.
He's played most of his career next to one of the world's best or world's ever to do it in Sergio Ramos. Yeah. Now you're putting him next to Harry Maguire. You're seeing deficiencies in his game.
Yeah.
You're seeing deficiencies in his game because Harry Maguire is not the natural leader in that tandem. You see, when Matip's next to Virgil van Dijk, different proposition. Yeah,
That build-up play was
amazing.
sexy,
Amazing.
Oh my
Varane
God.
doesn't have the confidence to step into midfield and start passing balls around because he ain't got Virgil van Dijk behind him, son. Yeah, when you got Virgil van Dijk in your centre-back pairing, different proposition. Never mention Varane and Matip's name in the same sentence ever again. There's levels, There's levels.
Easy.
Do you want to take some comments?
Yeah. We
Go
can
on.
do that. Who wants to read them? You want to do them? Fuzzy, you want
Go on,
to deal
bro.
with them?
Yeah,
Deal
because we've
with
got
the
to
case.
bring in the AC Milan fan next as well.
Yeah, because we've got quite a few. So big up, you know what?
Yeah.
Big up to everybody locked in and locked on tonight, man. I appreciate that, man.
Much
And
appreciated.
Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. Show some support. Big up to everybody, no matter who
Much
you support.
appreciated. Much
So big
appreciated.
up to Glory Man United TV.
Yes.
Even though you are rivals, big up to you. Yeah. Big up to Abdul once again. Big up to Rich Sports and everyone in the chat. Yeah, big up to Rich Sports as well.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Rich Sports,
Much
Manchester
appreciated,
United channel, all things related. And then we got Clock Talk TV in the place. Mr. Alid. There the crew are. Big up the boys. Big up Maria too. Loving the hard work with the podcast. Keep it up. Respect to you. Yes, guys. So big it up, man. VVD and Matip absolutely fire.
Yes.
Yeah. Might be the best centre back bearing for me for the season.
By far, mate.
Yeah.
By far.
Laser. Big up to yourself. Big up to This Is Football. Big up to everybody. Shout out Brown Rice.
Oh God, here we go. I need
Brown
to
rice.
explain this one at some point with this brown rice. But anyway, moving on.
Are we going to touch upon this topic? Sorry, Miria.
No,
I think
go
we're
on.
going to talk about this guy today, our man.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about.
I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to come back to this segment. All right,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, are we bringing in?
Let's bring him in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go. There you go.
Hi guys. How's it going?
Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I've just realised I've lost my earphones. What have I done with them? Anyway, I can still hear you guys. Sorry. Anyway, I'll just carry on like this. Hello, welcome. So we haven't got on to Milan yet. We're moving on to that. So you're obviously welcome to join in with our discussion on everything that's currently going on in the Premier League and on Liverpool, of course. So moving on to our next topic, Salah. The awesome Salah, our Egyptian king, has reached 100 goals and has now joined the Premier League 100 club. Is Salah the best Liverpool player in the Premier League era? That's a bit of a controversial one, you know. So do you know what? I know who I'm going to go to straight away.
Of course.
Like Thiago's father. Let's go for it, because I can tell you're going to have an opinion on this one.
It's too look. He's up there. He's up there. But we've got Stevie G, man. We've got Stevie G, man. And that's the thing. When you've got Steven Gerrard as the benchmark, it's very hard. Like you could do everything as a Liverpool player and potentially still struggle to touch the Steven Gerrard benchmark.
Yeah.
And before Steven Gerrard, there was other people that went before that in previous eras that was hard to compare against. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I mean, our very own man from RossonARI TV will know all about Steven Gerrard.
I know a lot.
For a number of reasons, tormented AC Milan, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But no, look, Mohamed Salah will go down as being one of the best Premier League players of all time, not just for Liverpool, but of all time. Yeah, he's in the 100 goals club off the wing. Yeah, that's sensational. I just think that at the moment, and forgive me for bringing this up on your show, there's an agenda with Mohamed Salah. There's an agenda, and that agenda is only one thing. He's an Arab man plying his trade in the Premier League. And people like Goldbridge off Talk Sport have the cheek to disrespect Mohamed Salah and say that they don't rate him because when they hear his name they don't get excited.
Wow.
Shut up.
He doesn't get the plaudits he deserves, man. You know, we're still hearing people say after, what is it now, his 5th season, he's a one-season wonder. You know, it's one. I don't know what it's going to take for people to give him the respect that he
5-season
deserves.
wonder.
You know, and as Thiago's father alluded to, he's got these goals from being a wings man. You know, he's not a direct CF or ST.
Some strikers don't even get that, Lazer. Some strikers don't even get that.
Exactly. But for me, Salah, he's amazing, man. You know, I think when he actually leaves Liverpool, when that day comes, then we're going to sit back and realize, you know what, we had a very, very top player on our books. You know, I think that's when a lot of fans are going to really appreciate him. Don't get me wrong, most of our fan base love him, but there's still some that are like, there was a period when someone did him replaced. And I'm like, do you want him replaced? You know, because he comes up with the goods. He could be, sorry, Thiago, he could have a bad game and he could pop up with a goal, a half volley, whatever it is, you know, and it never stops fighting.
The key thing to bear in mind is from a Liverpool perspective, and I remember when Suarez left, everyone was like, Liverpool's done. Like, you're done. Like, you're never going to replace Suarez. You're never going to replace Suarez. I remember when Torres left, Liverpool, you're done. You're never going to replace Torres. You're done. I remember when Owen left. You're never going to replace Owen. You're done. Fowler. You're done.
Rush.
You're done.
You'll go back in it.
Aldridge.
We can keep going and going. One thing Liverpool always have and will always have is top-class forwards.
Yes,
always had top-class forwards. We've always had bagsmen. People that just get goals. So if the day does arrive where Mohamed Salah is no longer in a Liverpool shirt, you look back fondly and you look at all the goals and say, look, what a sensational player. But I'm not worried about stuff like that because Liverpool Football Club always find a way.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, for me, you know, his first season, you can see you know, that coming unexpected, the amount of goals, what was it, 32 Premier League goals, you know, and when you look back at some of the chances he missed, that guy could have got 40 odd, you know. Honestly,
and he had a lot of assists as well. He had a lot of assists. And he was passing more in that season.
Like the season after that, he was maybe trying a bit too hard to his own success. You can see it was him and Mane were having that little competition, you know, and they were joint top goal scorer, if I'm right. 22 Premier League goals, but Salah is sensational, man. Absolutely sensational. That goal he scored against Stoke City away. You remember the volley? Mane crosses it in.
Mane crossed it in.
And then his goal against Watford. Not Watford. Was it? Watford. Watford at home when he had 4 guys on their backside.
On the backside, in a snowy day.
I don't think it's goal, you know. Do you know what I think his best goal is?
No, go on. It's Tottenham, isn't it?
Roma.
The Chelsea one. The Chelsea goal. The one where he rockets it top corner.
Van Dijk assisted.
Do you know why that's the best goal?
Celebration.
Because the racial hate that came before that game.
From the Chelsea fans.
From the Chelsea fans, the dirt they were throwing at Mohamed Salah. And then he pops up and says, here, stuff that. Pick that one up at the back of the net. That's his best goal.
Oh my God.
The thing I love about Salah is he's amazing on the pitch, but off the pitch as well. He's just an absolutely incredible human being. Exactly. And the things that he does and you know, he goes about his life. Obviously, he's this mega huge successful sportsman, and he's a brand as well. You know, he's just, I think he's probably one of our most well-known players at this moment in time. There can't be anyone who doesn't know who Salah is. He is incredible, and I think he just brings an energy. There's an energy about him. I absolutely love Mo Salah. I think he's one of my absolute favorites.
Isn't he 4 goals away from being a top scoring African player in the Premier League?
I think that's what they said.
Something like that. Yeah, I read this actually the other day.
What are we rating? What are we rating that he does that by the end of the Crystal Palace game?
Oh. Yeah.
That's Maria, you know. That's how it
is. This whole Crystal Palace thing is now overspilling over here as well. I don't understand if red or dead, but they're just my local team, so I go watch them.
No, I know, but we slapped them 7 last year,
and we'll do it again.
And that goal as well.
That's what I'm saying. So, what are we saying after the Crystal Palace game that he's the top African?
Those records will be smashed
in the Premier League.
And you never know, Mane might get the 100 club as well by that one.
Exactly.
We're hoping. He'll get there in the end.
Yeah,
he'll get
100 club against the Eagles. I'm sorry, Alpha, but it's gonna happen. You boys are getting slapped. Yeah. We're looking goal difference at Palace.
Foz, what's your thoughts on Salah before we?
Listen, I've seen Gerard. I've seen before him. Salah, like Thiago's father said, Salah doesn't get the credit he deserves, and there's a lot of hatred towards him, which is why he hasn't got the publicity in England that he deserves. You know what I mean? Is he the greatest Liverpool player in the Premier League? It's debatable. Listen, Gerrard. Everybody says it's Gerrard. I'm not gonna knock Gerrard. You know what I mean? But Salah is close, people. Salah is close. I'm sorry to say that.
He's an absolute icon.
He's got the Champions League in the bag, sorry. And he's got the Premier League in his bag, and he could have more Premier Leagues as well going forward. What more does the guy have to prove to become the best player in the Premier League era? That's what I want to say.
Exactly.
I've got as a neutral, not a Liverpool fan. You've got players like Xabi Alonso. You can even put into the conversation Luis Suarez. You know, there's these sort of players that had a big impact for Liverpool on and off the pitch as well. Look at all the goals Suarez scored in a short amount of time. He played for Liverpool. He made Liverpool, he made teams fear him because of how good Suarez was. Suarez was an out-and-out striker. Salah's a winger. That's how I see the two players,
and people forget that. I think they don't.
I've got to be honest.
He's a winger.
Of course, but if
he could be the best winger in the Premier League. Salah's 100% the best winger in the Premier League at the moment.
There's a debate was going around Andy the other day. You know, people were comparing who was the better player, Giggs or Salah. You know, for me, Salah, Giggs had more longevity. You know, for me, Salah has to have a bit more longevity. We know Salah came into the game at the highest level later. You know, he was at Chelsea. You know, he went around the block to Italy, etc. Has come back to the Premier League and he's done the business with Liverpool. But Giggs, we know he's off the field antics. But going on football, he had a very sensational career and he adapted in his latter years as well. You know, he wasn't the winger he was in his teenage years. So it's a tough one.
You make a good point there because on our channel on the Red Sea podcast, we do a show. We've got an Aussie base for the Red Sea podcast. So we've got Red Sea podcast down under, and they do a fantastic show. And they were discussing this, and I had a great conversation with PK from our down under boys, and we were talking about Mohamed Salah's longevity in his career. I'm telling you, he's going to be a centre forward. He will be a centre forward. That is where he will end up. And we touched on the potential of Liverpool not to react to an aging team. He will then become a centre forward for Liverpool Football Club, because if you look at his stats and his touches in and around the box and his heat map, if you put him closer to goal, he will get you more goals. Now
he'll be like more like Jamie Vardy, innit? Because Jamie Vardy is like fine wine with age, innit? He's still like scoring goals. He could be that.
He needs more chances to convert. But if you feed him, he's like a hungry child. Keep feeding him.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just keep feeding him. And
Feed
he'll
the
Yeah.
beast.
Yeah.
It's true.
as simple as that.
Go on.
Before we move on, Let, have you got any thoughts on Salah? What's your take as a almost like a complete outsider? What would you?
I have a reminder for Andrew. Probably I know Salah more than you guys because I was following him and say that
Like, we can't hear you properly, mate. I think I think we're hearing echoes or something. Yeah.
We'll come back to him.
Yeah,
We'll get some commentary in the meantime when he does the technical
sorry? Say
difficulties.
again?
It's still very.
Tell him in a private chat, Fuzzy. In the meantime, we'll get some comments up in the meantime. So big up to everybody locked in and locked on. Very active tonight. We do appreciate that. Big up to Mr. Reflex Jambard, better than gigs. Big up to Jason, the whole damn show. Big up to Casper. Big up, lads. And remember, I know we drew one game to Milan. They will beat you 3-0. Casper's killing it. Big up to Mina B as well. Stats on this guy. Yes, he's still a one-season wonder. Oh, please. Yeah, so big up to everybody locked in and locked on.
Much appreciated, everyone.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's much
That's
better.
nice. Nice.
Okay. No, I was saying that actually I know Salah from his early years in Fiorentina, Roma, and I was shocked when I came in England. I came in England the year that Liverpool bought Salah, and all the newspaper were saying that he's not good enough and he's not gonna make it to the Premier League. And I was shocked how football experts in England didn't know how good he was. He was doing like coast-to-coast goals against Juventus, and Juventus was dominating at that time. He was winning games by himself with Roma. He was exceeding in Champions League. He was an amazing player, and I was really upset. Like, no one in Italy had the money to buy him, and Liverpool just came and bought him straight away without even thinking about it. And I know straight away that was the best player Liverpool could have bought, because for a 4-3-3, he was the best player. I think at that time, I was probably stupid thinking that, but better than him in that position was just Messi, in my opinion, the way he plays the game. You can, of course, you can put other different players in that. And I really don't care about goals and stuff like that. He brought Liverpool twice in a Champions League final. And if you see that stats, few players can do that with the team. And Liverpool is not the richest team in the world. They don't spend more than other teams. And he made that. He did that. And probably could have won that first final if you guys had a goalkeeper in that game. But that's history.
That's a different story.
That's a different story.
Yeah. We'll be here forever.
Thiago don't look happy with that, you know. Thiago's pulled back. Thiago's pulled back.
Sorry, guys. That was actually shocking.
Just on a Salah one, though, it's important to recognise that he wasn't Klopp's first choice.
Yeah.
Yes, he wasn't.
No?
Didn't want
Are
him.
you sure about that?
Yeah. Klopp said it.
it
It came out of Klopp's mouth. Yeah.
Klopp didn't
So
want him.
you guys
Klopp
need to do a
wanted to
statue
sign
to the guy that bought him.
Yeah, Klopp wanted to sign Julian Brand from Leverkusen at the time. That's who we wanted. And then Michael Edwards said, "Well, look at Brand stats and look at Salah's stats." And Liverpool buy based on statistics.
Yeah.
It's almost like a Moneyball, an evolution of Moneyball, the way that we buy players. So that's why we went for Salah, and the rest is history. And now we've got one of the best goal scorers in world football.
Yes.
And I realized something in my 5 years in England, that media don't respect enough Liverpool players. If Salah was a Manchester United player, everyone would talk about him. Or I don't know, a Chelsea player, or if he was a Man City player, everyone would talk about Guardiola, how good he's coaching him, and know how good he is as a player. But so I think Salah is one of the best ever played in Premier League, in my opinion. He scores goals, he does assists, and he brings his club in a Champions League final twice. So that is just amazing. I mean, De Bruyne doesn't do that. De Bruyne didn't do that still. He brought his team once in the Champions League
final. Say it loud, a few people at the back. Say it loud.
People think it's easy to bring your club. Oh shit! What happened?
No, it's okay.
It's us.
We just want other people to hear you.
Yeah.
No. People think it's easy to bring their team in a Champions League final twice, but it's so complicated. It's so difficult. And he did that in those seasons that actually you guys almost challenged to win twice the title. The first time, of course, you didn't win it for 1 point. I think was it.
Yeah,
that was just insane.
Nice.
That was insane. And I think this year, City is not going to win the title. I think they're gonna struggle even to go top 4, in my opinion. How they
Really? What's your reason?
That's what I want to hear.
What's your reason for that? When you're saying that now, that's a bit of a surprise to me. You're saying they're going to struggle. Do you mean like you see them falling outside the top 4 places?
But they struggle with Leicester. So every time they play against, for example, Man United, they struggle. They hardly win. So they're going to lose a lot of points with big teams. They're going to lose probably with you guys, with Chelsea, and they're going to struggle. And without a striker in difficult games when you actually need to cross the ball and score, they're not going to manage to do that. So, and I don't know, Premier League this time, there is a lot of tacticians this year. So Guardiola is going to struggle. And his options is always the same, keeping the ball, lowering the tempo and going high again with the tempo and moving their players around. So I don't know. And they have that Champions League obsession. So they are going to put a bit more effort on the Champions League. So you never know. They lost against the Tottenham 1-0. So they're going to lose a lot of points like this season.
We don't want to judge them by Tottenham, though, too much after what happened on the weekend. But again, we won't talk about that one now. Right, shall we take some comments? Do you want to read out some comments, Lazer? Or Fozzie? Anyone? Read some comments. Let's bring them up.
Man,
I think we're by the Chelsea perspective. No, this one, This one. Let's talk about this one,
do people think some defenders have worked out Salah because they know to push him on to his right foot?
Nope.
He's still scoring goals, isn't he? Really?
Still doing it.
It's a funny one because I've seen this comment pop up before and people go,
the right foot thing.
The Premier League's worked him out, just push him onto his right foot. That's just such a basic view of football. That isn't how Liverpool play the game.
No.
If you're talking about Bobby Firmino dropping in, what that does is it creates space in behind for Salah and Mane to play into. We look at that 40-yard diagonal that Virgil van Dijk plays.
Yeah.
You can't defend against that. You can't defend against it. If Bobby drops in and the space behind becomes vacant to try and show for the ball, whether that be from the midfield or from the back 4, there is a world of space for Salah and Mane to run into. And very few defenders are going to be able to keep up with Mohamed Salah for pace.
Oh, you just look at his stats, don't you, Thiago's father? You look at his stats each season. I mean, it's always like about the same. So it's not like people found him out. He's still doing the same things.
More than the opening game of each season as well. 5 years running. Come on.
Exactly. So if people think that they've worked him out, then think again. Because you haven't solved that problem yet. I can assure you, you haven't solved that problem. You haven't solved that problem yet. We'll see if you've solved the problem when he bags another 20+ this year.
Which it will.
We'll talk about it after the season's over and he's got golden boot again.
Exactly. Right, don't forget to smash that like button. I love saying that. I don't get to say that very often. I'm going to be saying it all the time now. Smash that like button. And subscribe, of course, and share. Are we going to move on to our next topic, or did we want to cover any other comments? Probably the next
topic now, because we still got Mane to talk about. We still got to touch base with Harvey Elliott's injury.
Yeah.
So where do we want to go first? Should we talk about Mane? While we're talking about strikers, wingers?
Let's talk Mane. It makes sense. Let's move on to Mane. What are we thinking? There's a lot of talk around Mane at the moment. I mean, he's struggling. He seems to be struggling. Yeah, he's desperate to bang the goals in. And we saw the other day what was going on. He even apologised to the other players for the endless attempts. What's our thoughts? What's going on with Mane? Where's he at? What's going on? Has he passed his sell by? Where are we at? Let's go to Fozzie. Go on.
Mane, man, my guy. Man, I've supported him from day one. I've always said, even last season when people were trashing him, I said he needs the fans. He needs the fans to back him in the pitch. I mean, some players just perform because the fans are there, like him and Firmino. That's what I was hoping was going to happen, but I don't know. It's something is not right with this guy, and the way he lashes at chances now, there's no more composure, guys. You know what I mean? Like, he used to just like put it in the bottom corner, top corner. Now he's just lashing at chances, and it's not the Mane we're used to. There's a lot of work ahead for him this season, and I'm hoping he could get out of this rut. And I'm not giving up on him. I can't give up on Mane, man. He brought me my dreams, man. He brought me the Premier League. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna give up. That season, he was the main man. You know what I mean? The way he scored those important goals.
Sometimes we have to let them go.
Yeah. I know.
Because otherwise we hang on to them too long.
I know.
I don't know. You know, when I look at Mane, you know, like if we take away the past glories and how he's been previous seasons, you could say players like, you know, Mikel Antonio is actually outperforming him. Players of that caliber, you know what I'm saying? You can see the desperation in him. He's trying way too hard. Those moments, the highlights what I saw yesterday. No, I'm not giving up on him. Come on, we can't give up on our Liverpool, man.
This is Mane, people.
We've got to say things how it is. We've got to keep it real here. And he's not performing. He's going on the best part of 18 months now. For me, it goes back to, I would say, when we more or less had the title in the bag, January 2020. You know, and you could see he hasn't been the same. He snatches at chances. He's not beating men anymore. He's dropping over. No, I'm not having it. It's not the fans.
In his times, man. Listen, it's just 4 games. It's just 4 games. He'll come back.
No, fast. Don't get it twisted. He needs time. Of course, players need time. You get players that are out of form, etc. But for me, something's not quite right with him. I don't know if his headspace ain't in the right place. You know, you got to bear in mind as well, he's had a long rest compared to some of the other players, you know, that went to international tournaments. And he hasn't come back fresh. You know, that game yesterday, the chances he was snatching at and missing, that's not the man we know. And these were easy pickings. You know, he had a tap-in, essentially an open net that he should have buried. You know, we got his goal in injury time, you know, classic Mane. But for me, I'm just a little bit concerned because for me, there's going to be games where we're going to be on the ropes, you know, we're going to need someone to come up with them goals. We cannot always rely and say, yes, Salah's going to do it. There's going to be those decisive moments and we're going to need, you know, Mane to pop up with the goods. And if he's missing in chances like that, you know, chance after chance, it's going to cost us in games, you know, and he's going to have to perform better. I'm not sure what it is that's bothering him. It could be personal reasons, but he's going to have to get better because we know it's not the man that
I'm not giving up. Of
course, we're not giving up, bro. We're not giving up, man. But we've got to say the level, you know, what he set himself at and the level that he can go to is well out of form. This isn't the man that we know.
Let's bring in Thiago's father.
He's shaking his head, man. He's shaking his head.
I'm just hearing the slander. The slander. Like the slander is unreal. No,
I'm not on my own. I'm my Thiago's father. I'm not.
I'm getting twisted right there. Don't let people gang up on me. You know, nobody's gonna gang up on me on this panel.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
His opinion.
Come on.
Yes, we agree.
He said himself, remember, end of last season, he said himself there was something wrong and he was worried about what was going on with him. Go on, go for it.
Let me tell you, right, yeah? With Sadio Mane, yeah, you've got to, he's a confidence player, yeah? He's the kind of player where you've got to put your arm around him, yeah? So we look at some of the media stuff that's been going on. If you think about back end of the season where we won the league, yeah, and we were talking about what Liverpool are going to do in the transfer window and so on and so forth, blah blah blah, yeah. The player that everybody was talking about we were going to sell was Sadio Mane. Everybody was talking about it. We're going to sell Sadio Mane. We're going to sell Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane was going to sell. I think somewhere on the lines that's affected him.
Yeah,
I think that's affected him, and it's interesting because players, you look at Gini Wijnaldum's comments when he left Liverpool, saying about the fan base, how they didn't respect him.
Yeah,
players are influenced by that, and I think there's an element of that with Sadio Mane. we need to rally round him. And this when he was doing his, like, you look at the goal in the Allianz Arena against Bayern Munich. That's disgusting. How are you taking
that's filth?
That's
filth,
man. Oh,
you're taking down a 40-yard ball, one touch, killing it dead, in front of arguably one of the best goalkeepers in world football to ever play the game, Emmanuel Neuer, Mr. Sweeper keeper, and then you're slotting it past him like he wasn't even there. That's total shithouse behaviour. That is what that is, and that's what Sadio Mane is capable of. You said it as well. We're judging him by his own lofty standards. I just think he needs that element where the Liverpool fan base just goes, you know what? Go and do your thing. We know what you can do. Just go and do it. And you everything he does, if he makes a block, you cheer it. If he scores a goal,
it's like you're saying, THIAGO'S father. It's like you're saying, bro. We supported him on his highs. Let's support him on his lows.
Of course,
100%.
That's what we've got to do.
Everything he does, the fan base should be cheering it. If he makes a 40-yard dash and wins the ball back, celebrate the fuck out of that. Because what that does is it gives him confidence.
Yeah.
If he pops up and makes an assist, celebrate it. Because all that's gonna do is give him confidence. I have the same debate with my co-host. Massive shout out to Southern Scouser from the Red Sea podcast.
Shout out, bro. Shout out.
Yeah. He says the same thing as you guys. Nah, Mane can't be a starter. We need another replacement. And I'm like, dude, just relax. It will all be okay, because a player like him, you don't just turn. The decline doesn't happen that sharp overnight. He's just slightly out of form. That's all it is. Look, good comment here from Tony Kelly. Mane is being scapegoated for the whole fan base. I'm sure. Says the abuse he's getting will not make him welcome to us. Exactly, that's the thing. And it's the first time I've heard it from a player, from our fan base, when Gini Wijnaldum said it, and that hurt me.
It hurt all of us, man. It hurt all of us, man.
He is a confidence player, Sadio Mane. You can see that, like when he gets substituted, the club puts his arm around him. You can see the difference, with other players. He's a player that's built on confidence, so we're just gonna support him. But I'm gonna call it out, and he hasn't been performing.
No, he hasn't.
Hopefully, he will get there. We'll get back there, because if we're gonna want to win championships, titles, Champions Leagues, etc., we have to make him perform. Perform. He's gonna have to come up with the goods. There's no good saying, "No, we're gonna support him," and he doesn't score decisive goals in decisive moments. That's no good to us.
I think that's where there's that dilemma, though, isn't there? Because actually, I completely hear what THIAGO'S father and Fozzie are saying. He does need that confidence, but then on the other hand, as Lazer's saying, we also need to get the goals, and we need him to be performing. And it's a really hard thing. How do you balance out supporting someone without overpraising when they've so much as touched the ball, and supporting someone when actually they deserve that support and they need that support, so we can get behind him? But it's at what point do we go, he's not performing, something needs to happen? And I don't know where that is.
The thing is, but the thing is, guys. Sorry, go on from THIAGO, father. Go on, mate.
No, I just think if you look at when we brought Jota in, I thought there was I was saying it. There was a distinct complacency in the front three. Mane, Salah,
100%.
Distinct complacency. Let's be honest. Divock Origi is not competition for those boys. He's not competition. And I've got it on good authority that season before last we wanted to move Divock Origi on, and Divock Origi turned around and openly said, "I'm happy being a bench warmer. I don't want to go nowhere." So when you got a player like that in your squad, and again, no disrespect to Divock Origi, I give you flowers. You scored Champions League finals.
I'll give you
against
flowers in the pouring rain.
100%. You've done a lot for Liverpool Football Club. You're a player who's played in moments for Liverpool Football Club, but you're not what we need right now. You're not what we need right now. Yeah. We need another Jota.
Yeah.
What that will do is put that little bit of pressure amongst that front three. It will make them think, do you know what?
Yeah.
If I don't produce the goods, I could be hugging bench tomorrow.
Exactly.
Whereas right now, Bobby's out, Mane, Salah, Jota are like, we're playing. Because
Yeah.
Ox
Yeah.
ain't going
Yeah.
false 9.
Yeah.
Because Ox
You're
ain't going
Exactly.
false 9.
spot on.
Gotta
You're
keep
spot
them on
on.
their toes, man.
There's
Big
no
up to yourself.
competition at the moment
Yeah.
for any
Yeah.
of them, and it
Yeah.
does lead to complacency because they know they're going to be played. They
Yeah.
know that if they don't perform, it's going to be they didn't perform, and there's nothing's going to happen. There's no consequences other than we don't get the
Maria,
points. So
just
It's
quickly,
like-
there's a good take here. Sorry, just quickly on this one. Pep Guardiola said the same thing coming off the back of Manchester City's title-winning season when they were Centurions.
Yeah.
He said this, facts, goes, how do we motivate this team to win again?
exactly.
They've done
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
They've done everything. Yeah?
Yeah.
As far as Liverpool goes, those players are immortalized now. They're immortalized.
Smash
Of
it.
course, 100%,
Yeah.
man. 100%.
Champions League final, go close, don't win it, come back next year.
Yeah.
99 points in the league, win Champions
Yes.
League. Don't
Yeah.
win the league. Following year, you come back and absolutely obliterate the league. They're immortalized. So
Yeah.
there is maybe some
Exactly.
arguments that he can do no more in a Liverpool shirt,
Yeah.
but at the same time, Sadio Mane is a smooth.
He's a legend already, mate. But we've
Yeah.
got to be. The thing with me, guys, we just got to be careful how we take this, because if we're basing it on last season is a write-off. Let's just be honest here. Let's just write off last season. It was a crap season, no matter how we look at it. We need to look at it. Yeah, it's a new season, new start. Fans are back. We look at this season. Andy, what do you think of? Sorry, Marie, you could say.
No, go on, that's fine.
What do you think of
When
Mane's
Mane was
performances?
playing against Leeds yesterday,
Yeah.
we didn't fear him because we knew he was off form. He had the ball, and he kept shooting and shooting. I think he must have had about 9 or 10 chances.
It
He
was
just
10,
kept missing.
wasn't it?
Was it 10? Was it?
Yeah.
He just kept missing, and I was just thinking, yeah, let him have the ball. He's not going to do nothing. You know, yes,
How
he
the
scored
Leeds
his goal
fans
in the
felt,
end.
Andy? Is that how the fans felt? Do you know, like,
Yeah.
being a Leeds fan and whether
We
reading
feared Salah.
forums and the fan boards, is that what they're saying about Mane? Like,
Yeah.
we're not worried about him in this game.
Nah,
You know, he's not the
Mane has the name. Mane has the name figure that Mane can turn it on when he wants to turn it on. When Mane is on form, he's just as good as anyone in world football.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But Mane, as you guys are saying at the moment, Mane is off form. We weren't afraid of him yesterday. You know, he had the ball in places in the box and that, and he was just shooting. It was either going wide or our keeper was saving it. You know what I mean? We didn't fear him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
big up to
that's
everyone.
what
We're
he
gonna
knows.
touch. Sorry to interrupt you, Andy. We're gonna touch on the Milan thing now. Just get some quick comment up before Maria,
Moves
brings
on
us
to the
on
Milan.
to
Yeah.
that subject. Big up to Ada, my G Ada from the 0121 Liverpool man. Big up to you, Ada, for joining us. Man, are not doing bad so far. He's still got 2 goals in the Prem. Ginny got all the crap too, to the point he made his move about that, supposedly. Tony Kelly, big up to yourself. Our fan base is too reactionary, and I can be reactionary too. Think of what Mane has done for us. I'm sure he should get more. I think that one was read out already. Big up to Reflex, my cousin. To be fair, Mane never missed. Some shots got deflected, etc. Yeah, so big up to everyone. We're going to move on now. We're going to move on to the Milan topic. Liverpool
talk
versus
Milan.
Milan on Wednesday.
Cool. So Wednesday, big clash, Champions League against Milan, and we've got, well, there's all sorts of thoughts on this one. Let's start with LAERT. You are our representative of Milan.
I'll try my best.
We'll
You're
try
good,
and
bro. You're good,
we'll
bro.
try and be really balanced with this one. It's only like 4 against 1 on the Liverpool side, but you know it's okay. What are you hoping for in this match? What do you expect to see? What do you expect to see happen?
So first of all, it's my first time at Anfield. I'm going to watch the game at the
Oh,
stadium.
brilliant.
So it's gonna be exciting. And the only thing I want to see is great football. So basically I want to see Liverpool attacking, AC Milan attacking, and I hope the win goes to the best team that plays the best football. Not
Who
like
do you think the best team is going to be, LAERT?
depends on Klopp. I think Klopp can miss this game and make some mistakes. As I was saying the other day, probably Klopp can underestimate this team and put some second choices on the first team to rest some players because he can underestimate AC Milan, and that can help us because the way we play is quite similar to Liverpool. Of course, we don't have the same quality you guys have in terms of players. So the performance is different. But we play with a high line defensive, high press, and it's not a 4-3-3, but it's basically a 4-2-3-1, which we have a creative midfielder that is a number 10 instead of having 3 midfielders. So what we're gonna try to do is basically do a high press on the 2 center backs, on Trent and Robertson, so they never can play the ball and actually control the ball with the midfield. And you guys not controlling the ball with the midfield, probably gonna force Van Dijk to do that long pass, that incredible long pass he has. But we are covered on that because Tomori is basically probably one of the fastest defender. I don't know if he's faster than Van Dijk, probably not, but it's quite fast. And I was quite surprised the fact that the English manager never called him, not even in the 30 squad. So it's gonna be an interesting game. But let's see. I think the problem is you guys, a club uses always the same 11, 13, 14 players. It's still the beginning of the season, but some of them have had some national team games, so maybe they can be a bit tired, a bit, let's don't run too much and think about the Premier League game. We can easily play this. No player is known in AC Milan, so they can actually, can be a bit of complacement, and hopefully we play our game and get some points, or maybe the win, who knows. But it's gonna be hard for us. Definitely you are the favorite.
Thiago's father, what do you think? Who do you think? I mean, we haven't got a huge choice, to be fair, but do you think Klopp's going to field a sort of a B team, a B side against Milan, or do you think he's going to go for it? Because I felt like he was resting players the other day, actually.
The key decision is whether he plays Virgil van Dijk again, because does he play Verge in this game and then goes with the change against Palace? Does he change this game and then go strong against Palace? I think personally you're going to see Konate and Gomez come in.
Wow.
As opposed to Virgil and Matip for this game.
Okay.
Now, I appreciate, obviously, Milan have got Giroud, they've got Zlatan as well up front, but respectfully to Zlatan, he's a diminishing force. He's a diminishing force. He's a player that can offer moments. He plays in spells. Yeah. So, and Giroud again, I think is again a player that plays in spells. Phenomenal talents. Obviously, they've done very well in their careers, but I would expect Konate and Matip to keep those two. Konate and Gomez to keep those two quiet, because they can't beat them for pace. It's not going to happen. We're gonna play a high line. How are Giroud and Zlatan going to penetrate a high line against Gomez and Konate? It's just not possible. I understand about pinning back the fullbacks, but when you've got pace in our centre backs, and that's across all of our centre backs, that allows Robertson and Trent to do exactly the same that you want to do to us and pin you guys back. So you'll see those guys playing as high up the field as they possibly can, because Liverpool are going to be happy to be isolated against Zlatan and Giroud in 1v1 situations, and anybody else that looks to go forward, they'll back themselves on the counter. Alisson Becker again is able to sweep up as well, so you're going to struggle, I think, in that respect as well. I think we'll see changes in the midfield also. It seems like Klopp's preferred two in the Champions League are Milner and Henderson. They've started more Champions League games under Jurgen Klopp than most people in that midfield, so I could see Milner and Henderson coming back in for that. Hence why Henderson was on the bench and Milner didn't even get a start, and he was fit. So I think that they'll be in the two. I think Fabinho will be rested as well, and I think you'll see Keita come in. So you'll see Henderson in a DM, Keita and Milner as the partnership in there. In the front three is going to pick itself. Salah, Jota,
we've got no choice, have we? Yeah.
And Mane. They'll pick themselves. But I think we will see Liverpool make some changes. It's not a B team, because Klopp only uses up to 14 players.
He likes a small squad, innit? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a B team, but we'll see some changes.
What about you, Lazer? What are your thoughts? How do you think this is going to go? Who do you think is going to be fielding?
Your microphone.
Your mic's off.
Microphone.
Oh, my bad. You know what it was? I was blowing my nose before. Going back to what Thiago's father was saying, I do think there's going to be changes made. I don't think it's going to be a complete B team or anything like that. But then knowing Klopp, sometimes he throws these curveballs. We might see Minamino coming. You know, this is what Klopp does. But for me, we can't underestimate Milan. You know, when I've looked at the group and the teams in the group, it is kind of like a group of death. And we don't want it to be going to, like, let's say, the penultimate game of the group. We've got Atletico Madrid. We know what they're like already. You know, we don't want it to go back to when we won the Champions League and we was needing that win to get a group. I do see Milner coming in for experience, leadership, and I believe that's why Hendo was rested on the weekend. You know, he's definitely going to start. We've got no option. Front three picks itself. Going to the central defence, I do believe one of them's going to make way. And I've got a sneaky feeling Van Dijk may be dropped. He may be rested for Konate. I think we're going to see his debut. Yeah.
What about you, Fozzie?
Oh,
you in agreement? Or?
With me, like, I understand where Lazer and Thiago's father's coming from, like, you know, playing Konate and Gomez and that. But in this group, we can't take any risks. I got to be honest with you guys. There's groups you could, like, we used to get weaker groups in the past, and we could win in the last game and go through and all that stuff. But this is group of death. There's no time to rest, players. If we want to get past, these teams, we have to, like, be full strength. I think, like, if we keep dropping points, we could be at, in the group stages. We could play in the Europa League. I don't want to see us in the Europa League. I mean, so. Look at Porto last season. They beat Juventus. I think it was the quarterfinals. I don't know if it's quarterfinals or semi-finals. So you got to look at they have improved in the Champions League, and you look at Atletico Madrid. We struggled with them when we was in the group stage the season before last. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna rest on my laurels here, saying like we need to like rest players here and players there, because I want to win both. I don't know about you guys. I want to win the Champions League. I want to win the Premier League, because that's the most important trophies for Klopp. That's the most important trophies for us as well. And I'd rather like chase records than just settle for being second best as well. So yeah, I expect Van Dijk to play. I expect Matip to play as well. I've got no doubt about that, because this group is no joke, man.
Fozzie, are you worried that we have to get the points on the board from now? Because some of
our mate, we can't, Lazer, we can't do the last game thing again, mate.
And that's what I said before. We can't do that. We've called it too close to comfort.
It's too risky. This group is too risky. I know everybody thinks like AC Milan ain't as the force they used to be, but we don't know how they play. We've never played against them.
Respect AC Milan. You have to respect AC Milan. They're a European superhouse. You have to respect AC Milan. But let's be clear. Yeah, this is Konate. It's Konate. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? This is Joe Gomez. These aren't second string bottom fodder defenders.
No, not at all.
We're not bringing in. We're not, again, respectfully, we're not bringing in Reece Williams. We're not bringing in Nat Phillips.
But Thiago's father, sometimes, sorry, brother. Sometimes you got to look at it like they need game time in order for them to be like get up to pace. That's what I look at. That's what I worry about.
We're gonna have to make the changes and use the squad. We're gonna have to. If we're gonna fight on all fronts, we're gonna have to do it.
I want to see Liverpool Football Club challenge on all fronts.
All fronts.
Yeah, man.
Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup.
I agree. 100%.
Want to see us challenge on all fronts, and we've been guilty of not giving enough respect to the cup competitions. Whether that's to do with arrogancy or whether that's to do with squad size. But when I look at our squad, we have the capability. Tsimikas came in and showed what he can do. Tsimikas was exceptional. Was unlucky not to play in the Chelsea game. The because Andy Robertson had a howler in the Chelsea game.
Exactly.
Oh.
He should have been
Howler.
playing.
Yeah, we was all saying that.
We all said that. He should have played. He
Yeah.
shouldn't have played, man.
Timakash should have played that game, but the occasion, you play Andy Robertson because of the occasion, yeah?
Yeah.
I get it, understand it. You understand why he makes that change. But I could be comfortable enough to even put Timakash in against AC Milan.
Yeah.
Timakash is a top draw player. He's shown that, yeah? So why can't we change? These boys are playing at top intensity in training. Play as you train, train as you play. The intensity's there. They're going away with their countries. The intensity's there.
For me,
This is where.
Sorry, Maria, go ahead, bro.
I was just going to say, this is where Klopp has to be a bit brave as well. And, you know, the whole playing to the occasion sometimes has got us into trouble.
Yeah.
And so he needs to really put that trust into players like Tsimikas, into Konate, into Keita, and know that actually they're all world-class players. Let's play them. Let's give them some time so that they're actually playing into form and give them an opportunity to show us what they got, because we know they can do it. We know they can do it, so they need to be on.
Right. You're so right, because let's cast our minds back to last year. Yeah, nothing game in the Champions League. Diego Jota gets injured.
Gonna bring this comment up.
Exactly. So we need to be. He just needs to be braver. Needs to be brave and stop being sentimental as well.
Yeah. Big up to Tony Kelly as well. Sorry, Thiago's father. Yeah, just what you was alluding to there. But for me, I wouldn't say this is a meaningless game. Klopp better not play our best 11, even if we qualify. Remember, Klopp played Jota in a meaningless game. For me, I don't see this as a do or die game. Even if we get a draw, it's not the worst result. We still have 5 more games to make up. And, you know, we're going to back the team, back the squad. You know, you're saying, Fuzzy, we have to win. For me, I don't see this game as that. As Marie was saying, we can't play the occasion, you know, that we're going to be playing under the lights again, you know, full house as well. So that's going to be magnificent. But we must not disrespect the opposition, AC Milan, because
that's
when
what
we
I'm
do
saying. That's why you shouldn't drop players. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You've got to play your strongest team. That's what.
But for me, we've got quality players in the squad.
We've got quality. I've got no doubt about the quality of the team, bro. I've got no doubt about that. But you got to win your first game. Get the points on board first. Then you can worry about the things after. That's what.
And you guys, can I say something?
Go on, lot, man.
Yeah, go on.
You guys are lucky because you play with Crystal Palace. So actually, Konate and Gomez can handle Crystal Palace for sure, in my opinion. But you don't know Konate in a Champions League game against AC Milan, which is not the same AC Milan, but the pressure starts to feel. You feel the pressure. It's your first game. You want to show off. You want to play good because you want to get that spot, and you maybe you don't perform. So you need the guarantee guys to go for that game. And you don't know if you don't get the point of the first game, the second game you have to play the best team and the best team against Manchester City or other big games in Premier League. Yeah. So you have this chance that you have a small team after. So why not play the best team?
Anybody know the score with Konate? Because obviously he hasn't played games, so he's not up to speed.
It's what Klopp does normally, innit? It's what Klopp does. He doesn't throw players into the team straight away. He wants them to observe the team and then, you know, gradually bring them in. That's what Klopp does all the time. He's done it with Robertson. He's done it with other players as well. Go on,
This
bro.
is it. I look at the Palace game, yeah, and I look at how tight it is at the top of the table.
It's very tight.
Yeah.
It's there's a fag paper separating everybody.
Literally.
Paper.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Yeah. So I think personally, and no disrespect to AC Milan, the Palace game is more of a challenge.
I'm with Thiago's father on this one. I'm reading comments with Fuzzy saying with Ada, etc. I respect everyone's opinions. We respect them. But for me, I'm not disrespecting AC Milan. For me, then we could say we're disrespecting Palace. Palace could just turn up on the day and lick us on the counter attack. You know, we've seen it before.
Palace of last season.
You know what I mean?
Yeah? They got some young guns now. Yeah, they got young guns. Yeah, who are top quality players. Yeah, that know that they're playing a different brand of football. See that Gallagher, decent player. Yeah, they've got from Chelsea. The kid they've got from Celtic, decent player. Zaha in there as well, very good player. The guy who they got the other youth from Reading as well, decent player. Yeah, they've gone out and made shrewd acquisitions, they're going to be a different proposition. Yeah. Now, I feel we have enough to park them off. I do, regardless of who we play. But for me, to keep pace with the current flock in that area, we need to beat Palace.
Yeah, I'm with Thiago's Forever, man.
If we go into the AC Milan game and we get a draw, that ain't the end of the world. All we have to do is not lose. We don't have to. We just can't lose. Whereas on the weekend, we have to win. It's a we have to win on the weekend, because straight away, if you lose that game, cracks start appearing. You start to, it's the mental. You see Chelsea go and win. United might go and win. City might go and win. All of a sudden, the doubt starts to creep into the player's head, thinking, "Oh, they've gone and win." You know, that's. Do you see what I'm saying? And then you start to getting into the whole chat about mentality monsters again and all of that. I don't want to hear that anymore.
I gotta get to Ada here. Big up to Ada, my brother. Ada, you need to join us for a show, bro. You're very active tonight in the chat. You need to come on the show and give your opinions. But big up to you, though. But if we lose to Palace, there's still 33 games to the good. If we lose to Milan, we only got 5 games to rectify it. You know, for me, I agree with what you're saying. But I have faith in the team. Yes, even if we field a so. Can you hear me?
One off,
Oh, I don't know what's going on there. You know, I'm gonna have to get my XLR cable. That's been happening a lot recently, man. Jeez.
That's all right, bro.
Yeah, man. Anyway, as I was saying, for me, I'm with Thiago's father. I have faith in the team. If Klopp, for example, was to play Tsimikas, if I see that lineup come Wednesday and has Tsimikas in there, let's say, for example, it has Konate, I'm not gonna think, oh my God, what's Klopp doing here? I'm going to absolutely back it and have faith that we can do the job against Milan.
Back the team,
it's not the BL end or if we don't get them 3 points, lads, it ain't. Klopp knows what he's doing. We got more games to play. It's a squad game. It's a long haul. We cannot burn out our main players, you know, and bank all our goods on this Milan game thinking, we have to get the 3 points in the back. You know, but I do value everyone's opinions on that.
Yeah, of course,
Well, I've got a question for everyone.
Go on, bro.
Do you cherish the Champions League more this season or the Premier League?
I want the Premier League. I want our Premier League back.
I want the Champions League as well.
I want it back.
The Prem first, definitely.
Premier League first.
You got to focus on the Premier League. You have to focus on the Premier League.
The Premier League, that shit's out on rent. We've put that out on rent. Yeah,
exactly.
Out on rent. I said it.
No sound effects today.
Oh, damn you!
I said it on our show on the Red Sea podcast as soon as the last season was over, and I was like, look, revenge tour 21-22. Everybody that was speaking trash needs to get it. They all need to get packed off, every single one.
Yeah,
so we need
to. We could have a massive party.
I think we can't get complacent either, thinking, there's still 33 games to go, because we already know it's so close. So the minute we start losing points, then that 1 point is going to make the goal difference. Already,
I'm telling you, you know what?
Scored a couple more goals the other day, we'd be proper top.
Mark my words, this season is going to be close. I'm telling you, it is.
Yeah, we can't have any complacency or be thinking, we can. It doesn't matter about Crystal Palace, or it doesn't matter about I don't know whatever Burnley and whatever. It does matter. They're the
Remember
ones.
that's Maria's team, you know, other team, Crystal Palace, the English.
You don't want to hear that, mate.
Stop it with the Palace. I was just at the match. I go to the matches. They're nearby. Anfield is so far away. What am I supposed to do? You got to go and watch some football.
Cross the road, isn't it? Cross the road.
It's like me and West Brom as well.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. But yeah, we can't get complacent at all and be thinking that it's okay to be dropping points anywhere. Should we quickly grab some comments, because there's so many.
There's so many, man.
Honors tonight. Who wants to do the honors? Where are we? Because you know what I'm doing? I'm just picking out the headline comments, because it looks like a lot of people are having discussions amongst themselves. I'm just skipping through them. There's some good ones in there. Abdul LFC. Every point counts. This is not La Liga. All teams are in title, not just 2. Big up to yourself. Yeah. Tony Kelly, I think it's an even game between Palace and Milan. They aren't easy games. Big up to everybody active in the chat, man. We do appreciate this. It's been a very good show tonight. Can you read my Eduardo comments? I will try and go back to that for you as well. Big up to yourself, Tony Kelly.
So back onto Champions League. We've spoken about what we think is going to happen in the match and so on. Do you think? And we won't won't go too far on this one. But do you think both these teams both of us, is Liverpool and Milan, are they capable of winning the Champions League?
I don't think so.
Oh, that was straight in there. Go on.
I don't see both getting out of the group just because of how strong Atletico Madrid really are under Simeone. I think that they're such a strong team.
You know you're on a Liverpool stream, right?
Exactly.
Keep going. I'm joking. Go.
I see Liverpool probably getting out of the group if they beat like Milan and Porto. I know it sounds stupid saying that, but you have to beat them teams to be able to get out of the group. But I see Atletico Madrid getting the results under Simeone. They have a style of football and it works for them. Yeah. They're so tough to beat, and I'd be more surprised if Atletico Madrid don't make it out of the group. So I see Milan missing out.
We beat Atletico.
What do you think, LAERT? Have both got a chance at this, or is this just pie in the sky dreaming on our behalf here?
I'm not worried about Atletico. I mean, their football is quite predictable. Basically, we invented that football, so we can beat them anytime. Parking a bus, we know what does it mean, and we know how to win against them. So I think what AC Milan is going to do is going to wait for them, and what they have to do, they have to come out, and we're going to go on the high press and counter-attacking. So the problem I have is with Liverpool. If we manage, I don't know, if we do an incredible game tomorrow, Wednesday, and we win against Liverpool, let's say, for us, the Champions League this year is a proof to understand how good our team is on an international level with the biggest club in the world. So if we win against Liverpool, our youngsters, our team, our manager is going to say, okay, we are capable of this, so we are going for this. We are going to put Wednesday the best team we can put. We're playing against Juventus Sunday. And we don't care about Juventus. We want to beat Liverpool at home. We want to do the upset in Champions League because at the end of the thing, you can always go against Juventus tactically with a lot of effort and find the result or even get a draw. And as we know, is 33 game to go, so it takes a long time. So Juventus is going to lose points. Already they lost points. Everyone is going to lose points. It's really the Serie A, the small teams, they always find a way to beat the big teams. It's really weird. So we're not worried about that. We want to get a point or win against Liverpool, because if we get a point against Liverpool, our chances raise a lot to go through the group. That is the main thing.
What's your thoughts on it? Sorry, go on. You were going to say.
I'm just saying it's a very tough group. Anyone can get out of the group. I do see, as I said before, I do see Atletico Madrid probably topping the group or second. I don't see them not qualifying just because of how good they are. Yeah. Even in the Liga last season, they won the Liga. They're tough side. They've strengthened in the summer. They've got a style. It's not the best style in the world of football, but it's a results-based game, and they get results. And you've got to be careful against that. I know you might have beaten them before, but it's a new season, different teams. You know what I mean? That's how I see it.
What do you think? What do you think, Thiago's father?
I think we beat Atletico. I think we beat AC Milan. I can't see us not getting out of the group. I think the key thing is managing the games. Yeah, you got and game management isn't just about the personnel that you put on the park. It's about in-game management, how you manage the game whilst you're in the game as well. We saw in the game when we played Atletico in the season for us, we went out of the Champions League. Yeah. We didn't manage the game. It was just poor game management. We allowed that game to get away from us.
Sloppy,
It was sloppiness. Whereas I don't think this time we will be so stupid. I think it's going to be nip and tuck. Again, even against AC Milan, I think it's going to be nip and tuck. It's going to be like, get the points on the board, get out. Simple.
That's why.
Don't go too down hard. Get out.
I can see why people... Sorry,
No, go on, Neza. Go.
No, it's okay, Bab. It's okay. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, do you think there's a bit more... It's okay, Bab. It's all right, Bab. Do you think It's all right. Do you think there's a bit more grit and determination this year? Do you think that Liverpool have got a little bit more of a, I don't know, have they had a bit of a rocket up their backside to do something this year?
I just think now when you look, Liverpool is a system-based team, as are most teams in modern football. Yeah, it's a system. Yeah. When an integral cog from that system is missing, it's like a car. It's like a car with no clutch. Yeah, it's not gonna go. You have to push it, and imagine pushing that car uphill. It's a difficult task. Yeah, you take Virgil van Dijk out of that, there's an issue. But guess what? You can kind of start pushing the car. You get a bit of traction. It starts to go a little bit. You then take Jordan Henderson out of that. Yeah, again, massive problem because what Jordan Henderson does is covering that right flank, which allows Trent to bomb forward. What Gini Wijnaldum did would cover the left flank, allowed Andy Robertson to bomb forward. When the midfield bottoms out, the defensive line pushes forward. It allows them to go and dominate without any fear of what's behind them. Yeah, and this is the thing: when you're playing with two makeshift centre backs, whether it be two midfielders or two young pretenders, you cannot attack without fear. And that's what Liverpool lacked last year. We were attacking, but we were fearful of what was behind us. Yeah, we haven't got that situation this year. Yeah, who wants to go 1v1 with the best centre back in world football? Because that's what Liverpool basically say. No problem, we're going to attack you, but who out of you that want to go 1v1 with this guy?
It's not going to happen.
There's no takers. There's no takers.
Yeah.
Lukaku wanted it last week. Couldn't cope. There's no takers.
Yeah. When do we play Atletico in the group stage? Well, because is it the second game? Where's the first leg? Can you get that up, Fuzzy, Mr. Stats guy?
It's the third game, I think.
Third game.
We're playing the second game with Atletico.
I can see why people are worried. You know, the Atletico, was part of the bus to play that low block football, and for me, I can see a little bit of concerns because when you look at the game, Chelsea, they went down to 10 men. We couldn't break them down. For me, what I saw in the Leeds game yesterday, we had the game under control, but I would have liked Liverpool to sort of exercise in trying to go a bit more for the jugular. It was 2 goals to the good once that 10 men, and we were sort of passing back in defence. You get that a bit larger. Yeah. So I could see some of our fan base being a bit concerned, because we do a little bit struggle to break down park bus teams. We do. But as Thiago Father was saying, I actually do think we will beat them. I'm not 100% worried where once upon a time, let's say 3 seasons ago, it was like, oh my God, Atletico Madrid, it's going to be a nightmare. I'm not worried at all. And I do believe...
You can see, Lazer, obviously on the draw, it's 2 away games after this one. So that's what I mean, we need to get points on the board.
Of course.
Away games ain't easy.
Hang on, so get that a bit larger for me, bro, if you don't mind, please.
Oh, okay. No worries. Oh, sorry.
So wait, then we got Man City, and there's an international break slotted in there somewhere, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you look at it.
Put it this way, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough anyway, and I'm not underestimating the group. Porto could give us a surprise. We seen it when we won the Champions League. We were awful away from home. Let's not forget that. Our away form was appalling. Who did we lose to? Red Star Belgrade. We underestimated them, and we got hammered. It was a bad performance, and we done it at the death. The game against Napoli. But I do believe it's not the be all end all if we don't get the full 3 points. The main objective is let's not lose. Do not lose. Yeah. If we get a point, it's not the end of the world. I know, and I have enough faith in the team to make that up in the remaining 5 games.
As long as we don't think that every game, and then it gets to the final one, and it's we need to win by millions.
We've been doing that for the last few seasons, isn't it?
Well, exactly. So we've got to be careful. And I think the only thing, for me with Milan, I think Milan are going to be hungry for it. They've been out of the Champions League for a while. I'm not saying Liverpool aren't, but I think there's a bit of pride there that's a little bit different, perhaps. So we've got to be careful. So before we kind of round things up, how about some predictions? Let's have some predictions for the score on Wednesday. I'm going to start. Let's start with Andy. What do you reckon?
Okay. I'm going to say 2-1 Liverpool.
Okay, 2-1. Nice. Thiago's father?
What is this for the Champions League game? Yeah.
Yeah, Champions League.
2-0 Liverpool.
2-0. Lazer, you're nodding your head.
2-0. I've said it all day
2-0.
long. Jota and Salah, 2-0.
Let.
2-1 for AC Milan.
Oh, of course. And Fozzie, what do you reckon?
You know what? I'm going with the 2 lads. 2-0 to Liverpool.
You're going 2-0. I'm going to go with 3-0 because I can see this one. This one's going to
Extra
work. 3-0
sauce.
to Liverpool, of course.
Can I just flag up a comment and it's to our guest, Antonio. Now, this might come as a diss. This comment is you can rectify this comment, right? So, this person here saying in the EPL, the Premier League, Milan will be a team fighting for the 12 to 16 spot place. Serie A is a joke. Do you want to touch up on that for me? And how do you see Milan if the roles were reversed and they were in the Premier League? How would you see Milan faring in the Premier League?
With 100 million TV rights, I would see up on top winning the Premier League, I would say. But with the squad we have and the type of football we play, top 6 for sure.
No.
It's like I would say the way AC Milan plays is like Leicester. I would say the Liverpool in the beginning of Klopp when he actually almost managed to win the Champions League. So we are really hungry. We want to win, and we have young players that no one really knows them in the international level, but they have a lot of talent. And imagine like this. Imagine like Italy, but instead of having Immobile as a striker, you have Ibrahimovic or Giroud. Yeah. So something like that. That is the type of football we play. And I would say it's going to be a beautiful game. And if Liverpool starts to score from the beginning, of course, you guys can go for 3-0 because it's hard to, with the, Anfield full with Liverpool fans and you get a goal the first 20 minutes. It's really tough to keep composure and stay focused and stay there to get the draw. But I would say we have a chance this time because I don't know, Klopp knows more than you guys what is AC Milan. So I want to see his formation. If he's underestimating us, he's going to have a horrible night. Probably can win it still because you have a lot of talent, but he's going to have a lot of trouble at 90 minutes.
The thing is, though,
that's the thing.
I like it.
The thing is, just really quickly, is that it's set up and poised so beautifully for Liverpool, because if you attack us, we'll rip you to shreds. If you attack us, if Milan open up, you're gonna get ripped to shreds. You'll get dissected, because all that will happen is the ball will get played through the lines in the final third, and Mo Salah, Mane, Jota, whoever will do damage. If you sit in, again, it's perfect for us because we're at home. Yeah. We'll just sit. You're gonna have to come out and attack us at some point. So I just can't see anything but a comprehensive win for Liverpool Football Club. And again, that's no disrespect to Milan, because they're a team steeped in European pedigree. They are.
Absolutely, mate.
Yeah. And they're always going to show up on big European nights. They've got the ability to do something, but on paper, yeah.
What I'm saying is, if you play Milner and Konate, you're not gonna be able to attack. You're not gonna be able to actually create a clean chance, because the high press we put on Konate, Milner, and all those players in that position of the pitch, you're not gonna be able to actually get those 3 passes to go to Salah and Mane. But if you play, Henderson and Van Dijk, you have the quality to actually get through that high press and go and attack us. That's what I'm saying. If you underestimate us, you're gonna have a trouble on creating those chances. Of course, maybe a corner, a dribbling of Salah, a 1-2 Mane, Robertson can solve you the problem because you have the talent. But as a squad, you're gonna struggle. That is my opinion. If you put the second choices.
I think the thing is, if like as Thiago was saying, if we start, battering them, gets to 3-0. I've seen in the past, we go back to a couple of seasons ago. Was it what's the team Minamino played for? Because my memory's just gone foggy at the moment.
Salzburg.
Yeah, you remember that game? 3-0 up, and it went back to 3-3. So we've got to be careful, not be complacent, control the game, and just be calm and composed and
management.
professional. Good game management, yeah. But I'm predicting 2-0. I don't see it being a smashing. I don't see it. I think Milan's too savvy for that, and I don't think they'll allow that to happen.
Well, this is what I'm saying. If they come out and play, and they do. But I agree with what you're saying with the counter press. Like, if you guys counter press us, then fine, because all that happens is Trent, like we've seen recently, tucks in to the midfield area, and then we overrun you in the midfield. It's gonna be the battle. It's gonna be the battle in the midfield. Who's gonna win that midfield battle? So you don't need Henderson or Milner to have legs, because you're gonna have Trent in there, which is gonna provide that power and potentially overrun your midfield. So if you can stop the supply to Trent, you're good. If you can't stop that supply, problems.
Yeah, the thing that only worries me about AC Milan is like the unknown. You know what I mean, we don't know what we're facing. That's what worries me the most. So this game can be that could be a threat to us. But like Thiago's father said, we can dominate teams. We could. It's Anfield, back under the lights, back with the fans. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that will show that if we're back to normality in this game as well. Listen, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to the game anyway. I want to announce it, Lazer. I don't care. I'm going to the game, so
are you there?
I can't wait. Yes, bro. Come on.
Yeah, we've got a few people there.
We're going, bro.
I'm trying to hold him a smirk,
I don't care, Lazer. I don't care.
I'm trying to hold mine in you.
I missed out. There was one ticket left, seriously, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I was hovering over the button, and then by the time I pressed it, it had gone.
I know, that's always the way, man.
Absolutely gutted.
Man.
Right, so let's just quickly whiz through just a couple more comments, and then we're going to round things up, because we have gone way over time.
Yeah, 2 hours, man.
Need to go to sleep.
But the comments have been on fire. What we got?
Yeah,
what
man.
we got?
Good turnout tonight. You want to read them out, Maria?
Yeah, just chuck a couple.
Okay,
no questions.
So
we're not going to answer any of these. We're just checking out what we've got.
We was round this
area. Section incoming, yes. Can I take quite press resistant, Yeah. Thank you, Ishmael. Good to see you on there. Man, he's back. He's back. Whoa. We need Matip in the midfield. Did you see him playing? Fabinho's role, pushing forward? Love the big man. Matip's been awesome.
Brilliant, man.
Absolutely incredible. Like a new signing.
We'll have to do a show about him.
Yeah.
Yes, we will, mate. We will, bro.
Okay. Haha, yes, I want Liverpool to underestimate Milan. Liverpool 2-0. Nice. We're not there. Why didn't we sell Minamino for close to 20 million? Southampton after his loan, and buy I don't know how to say that. Sabitzer for 15 million. Lots of whys and hows. Guys, we're not playing in Russia, lol. Does anybody in England watch Serie A? Well, we'll see. We'll see how wrong or how right we are after Wednesday. Yeah. So I think that brings us to the end of our mammoth stream tonight. It's been absolutely incredible. Massive thank you to all of our guests. Thank you, Let's representing Milan.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you to Andy repping Leeds.
Cheers.
Thanks to Thiago's father saying it how
Much
it is.
appreciated, guys, honestly.
And obviously, thank you, Lazer and Fozzie, for trusting me to take over your stream.
Anytime.
You've done a brilliant job, Maria.
Lazer, where's the sound, mate?
I know the sound effects you used to say for Friday show. I wasn't even gonna ask you. You was like, no sound effects. But you know what? I'm gonna have to start lining them up every show now, man. Because you've needed them horns and gunshots and laser sounds and whatnot. But it's been I've enjoyed. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what I was up to on the weekend. I don't know how on earth I'm sitting here doing this. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get some peace to sleep, man. 2 hours, we've gone well over time, but it's been a splendid show. Big up to you as well, Thiago's father. Nice point, nice facts, man.
Big up
Andy, big up to you as well. And I'm Milankes, man. Enough respect for that, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Everyone in the comments, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, like, share, and obviously go to everyone's pages. It's in the link.
Yeah, let's everyone put the channels. Yeah,
show the love, people. Show the love.
Get Thiago's father up. He can do his work. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, before I go, thank you for having me on. It's been an absolute pleasure. If you don't know already, I come from the Red Sea Podcast. So we're the Red Sea Podcast on Twitter, YouTube, and on Instagram. We also feature on the LFC Day Trippers, doing all their match reactions live after every single show. You can also catch me on Redmen TV as well, occasionally doing a few bits with them as well, and also contributing on the Football Terrace. So if you like what you see, please head over and subscribe. We're on the way to 400 subscribers. So hit that like button for these guys as well. We'll be getting you guys on our show as well. So
big up to yourself,
big
man.
up, brother.
Yeah, big up, man. Thank you.
No, guys, just if you want to know anything about Serie A or AC Milan, RossonARI TV. RossonARI TV. That's everything you guys need to know. YouTube.
Going over there to find out what we're up against on Wednesday. Let's see. But I'm looking forward to see the game, man. It's been so long without Champions League, and I'm sure we're gonna surprise a lot of people. For sure.
You know what? It's good to have you back, man. Milan is a staple of the European powerhouse. You know what I mean? And they've been missing for the Champions League, man. So it's good to have AC Milan back, man. Yeah, Andy, anything you want to say, Andy, the Leeds fan?
Let's go, bro.
Take care, all. See you soon, hopefully.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, man. Just a quick question.
I'm glad there wasn't much Leeds talk today.
Go on, THIAGO'S father.
Go on, Thiago.
Just a quick question. Is Paolo Maldini's son playing in the first team?
Paolo Maldini is on the 22 or 24 squad of the team. Because the rule of the fact that you need to have players from the academy to actually be on the Champions League, and he was supposed to go on loan, but because we don't have enough good players to come from the academy, so we had to keep him in the squad. But he doesn't play a lot at the moment, and probably next year he's gonna go on loan because we don't need him anymore for the number of the academy. So, but yeah, he's a football player, and Maldini is our direct sport, and he saved us basically.
Legend, mate.
He saved us.
Do they rate him in your academy setup? Is he highly rated? Because I know with the Maldini family, there's a kind of a dynasty there, isn't it? I mean, his father captained AC Milan, Paolo Maldini captained AC Milan, and then we've got Daniel Maldini. So he was one of the best players of the academy for his year, so he's really good. He's quite talented, but he's not ready enough to play for AC Milan. We have a team that this year is going to challenge for the Serie A. We won against Lazio. We have 9 points. I don't know how many, probably around 13 goals done, and just one conceded. No, less than 9 goals or something like that. But we were challenging for the title. He's not good enough to be a starter or even to be a second or a third choice. But I think he's going to be a great player. Probably can play for AC Milan at around 24, 25 years old. But he plays as a number 10 midfielder, so it's really tough. There is a lot of competition. Yeah. And it's really hard to be good as Maldini. I don't think we just need to accept that, and I'm sure he accepted that already. So, but yeah, Maldini is looking forward for this game. He cannot wait to be at the stadium. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Maldini on the TV screens again because he was a legend. But hopefully we can break his heart like we've done before.
No one can break his heart, man.
He's one too many, man. He's one too many.
He says in one interview, I won a lot because I lost a lot of games as well. Yeah. So if you want to become a winner, you need to start losing games and going out there and do your job. So he's ready for any result. He's done it all. And he won the last time he played against Liverpool. So
Maria, the floor is yours to end the show.
Well, thank you once again, everyone. I've been Maria. This has been Let's Talk LFC. We hope to see you again next week. Good luck to Liverpool, obviously, on Wednesday. And we hope to have loads of great things to talk about on the next episode. So we will see you next week. Thanks, guys. Good night.